Hello and welcome to Cardboard History. I'm David, and today I want to share some of my plans and goals for the 2025 National. We're only a couple of days away. My plans are to be there Wednesday through Friday of next week, and right now I'm about 90% sure I'm going to go. We've just got a lot going on with the family. It's a 4-hour drive for me, so I've been holding things loosely, but it's looking more and more like it's going to happen. So my plan right now is to come Wednesday. And Wednesday's going to be a huge day for us. We're buying a house, and we actually have closing on the house in the morning. And then after we close on the house, I'm getting in the car and driving to Chicago. So that's as long as everything goes according to plan with that process. So it's really exciting for us, but a big move is in store. So Wednesday, I'll get there hopefully around 3 o'clock and be there Wednesday night for the show, and then Thursday I'm going to be at the show all day. I'm going to the YouTube meet and greet at the Embassy Suites, which Mike Moynihan Baseball Collector is putting on. So if you see me there, come up and say hi. Would love to meet you, learn more about your collection and what you're doing, or catch up if we've met in previous years. Really looking forward to that event. And if you see me at the show, say hi. Always enjoy talking to people and learning about their collections and their goals and what they're looking for. Goals and plans videos are kind of some of my favorite things to watch leading to the National, because it's exciting to see everybody else get excited, and also to hear what people are looking for, and to keep my eyes open if I see anything and run into somebody that I can hopefully point them in the right direction. So that's Thursday, the show during the day, and then the get-together in the evening. And then Friday, might go to the show the first couple hours. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to buy the 5-day pass, which lets you get in early. If so, then I might go on Friday. But my big plan for Friday is to go to the Cubs and Orioles game at Wrigley. And it's been 9 years. Last time I went to a Cubs game at Wrigley, they won the World Series. So here's hoping that that carries over the same luck this year. So it'll be my first time in 9 years being back at Wrigley and catching a game. And there could be a couple of exciting new players on the Cubs by that point. It'll be the day after the trade deadline. So that would be the first on Friday. And then Thursday, it's actually my birthday. So it's going to be a fun birthday at the National. I'll miss being with my family, but it will also just be a lot of fun to be with collectors and to be at the National. So big week ahead. I wanted to share some of my goals. So that way, if you run into me or you happen to see any of these things, you have my number. Please reach out. Let me know if you come across. The things I'm looking for are going to be at least the 5 cards that I'm putting as my big targets are rare cards, or 4 of them might not be at the show at all, or might not be at the show in a grade that's affordable to me. So before I share what those cards are, I want to share a little bit of my journey into having a budget for the National this year. So I enjoy collecting everything from 19th century up until 2025 cards, and that's kind of evidenced here by a card that came in the mail today. This is the 2025 Dansby Swanson Black, numbered to 74. So they traditionally have done these every year in the top set, but this year they changed the entire parallel structure up. And in Series 1, they did not issue the blacks, which were typically numbered to whatever number of release this is for Topps. So they've been doing it Topps flagship now for 74 years, so the blacks would be numbered to 74. Instead, they had the black rainbow foil, which was numbered to 10. And they got some pushback from collectors who like to collect the blacks, the black parallels. And so they took all the players from Series 1 and Series 2, and in Series 2 put the black parallels in there. So this one, that Dansby Swanson, Dansby was in Series 1, but that just came out. So that's part of my modern collection. And then another card that came in 2 days ago is this T204 Ramley George Howard. Let's see if I can get it without the glare. So this was a pickup from the Clean Sweep auctions. First time ever buying from that auction house. And really, I went in there and saw they had some Ramleys. I've been wanting to pick one up for a while. I put in a placer bid, and my placer bid actually ended up winning. So it took a little bit away from my National budget, but I was happy to pick that up, and I would have been, happy to pay that price if I saw that card at the National, what I got it for. But my budget for the National goes back to my collection of modern cards. And as a Cubs collector, I like to collect different projects of some modern things. And one project that I've done in the past 2 years has been Topps Pro Debut. They have the players in their minor league uniforms with the minor league logos, and I've collected the Cubs players with their rainbow for that year. And in 2023, one of the players for the Cubs was Pete Crow Armstrong. And if you've been paying attention to baseball at all this year, you know that he has had a monster season. He has been playing phenomenally. His card prices subsequently have shot through the roof. And realizing that I had this collection put together, I had 14 of the 18 cards. I was missing the 2 1-of-1s and out of 10 and out of 5. And so I had a near complete rainbow of Topps Pro Debut for Pete Crow Armstrong. And when I saw the prices shooting up, I kind of thought to myself, these could plummet. He could, get injured or something could happen, and his card values will never be back here again. I would rather take this money and invest it in something, and not really invest, but put it into something that I know is going to hold value. So I'm not in 2 years looking back and being like, wow, at one point I had all of this value in Pete Crow Armstrong cards. And so I took a lot of my Pete Crow Armstrong cards that I had collected over the past year, and because they've just shot through the roof, I decided to sell a lot of those and put that money towards the National, towards picking up a big card, which will, once I pick up, will be the biggest card in my collection. I would call it a grail, but I don't like the term grail. I'm going to call it a trophy card, because that's what it is. It's, not a Honus Wagner. It's nothing on that scale, but it is, for me, something that will take my collection to the next level. So these are the 5 cards that I am targeting that could potentially fill that. So this first one is not the same value as the next 4, and probably not the same from an iconic standpoint, but to me it's the most significant, and that's the 1887 Buckner Gold coin, Billy Sunday. If you know Billy Sunday's story, he was a baseball player. He became a very famous evangelist who would hold tent revival meetings, and became more well known as a preacher. I'm in seminary, working on my doctorate right now. I've been an interim pastor. The books behind me are almost all Christian theology and things like that. So I kind of feel like Billy Sunday takes the 2 areas of interest that I have of baseball and theology and the history of Christianity, and kind of brings those 2 together. And this is one of his cards. He has also some old Judge cards, but this is my favorite one of his, and I've been looking for it for a year and a half, have not seen it, didn't see it at the National last year, haven't seen it come up for sale. So if it's there, I really want to pick that up, and that will be my top target, but I'm not anticipating on seeing it there, but keeping my eyes open. You never know. It's got a pop of like 10. So we'll see if that one comes up. The next 4 are all going to be a bit of a stretch for my budget. And I'm bringing along some cards too if I need to help fill in the gap if one of these is available. But I'm kind of at the point where it has to be like a pretty low grade, but then I want it to be in high enough eye appeal. I don't want to get a complete beater if I'm going to put this much money into one of these cards. The first one is the Goodwin Champions King Kelly. So that's the second card pictured here. To me, this is one of the best, from a purely aesthetic standpoint, baseball cards ever produced. I love the clouds in the background. The picture is just phenomenal. So to me, this card, from a look standpoint, is so much better than the 52 Mantle or the Wagner. And so this is one card that I would love to be able to pick up, and it's been on my wish list for a long time. The second card is the Cap Anson. This is the Allen and Ginter. It kind of fits 2 spots, much like the Billy Sunday. Sunday played for the Chicago White Stockings, which became the Cubs, as did Kappa Anson. They were on the team together. And actually, at one point, King Kelly was on the team as well. And so these fit both my Ken Burns collection, which I'm trying to collect a card for every person mentioned in the Ken Burns documentary. And also it fills in some of my Cubs collection as well. The fourth card there is the Green Portrait Ty Cobb from the T206 set. That is the one that I know will be most widely available there, and kind of the one that I have been thinking will be what I end up picking up if I do pick up a card, unless I can find one of the other ones. But I know there will be probably at least a dozen or 2 dozen Green Cobbs. There will be quite a few that are in extremely high grades, far beyond what my budget can handle, but if I can find a 1 or a 1.5 with decent eye appeal, that's kind of where I'm sitting at. And then the fifth card there is the Joe Jackson from the W514. I'm trying to put together the Black Sox team set from the W514 set, which includes 7 of the 8 men out, all except for McMillan, who doesn't have a professional card, just a Z-Nut card. So Joe Jackson is the most expensive card of those players, and so that would be another one that I keep my eye out for. It's hand cut, so it can be pretty rough at times, and also with him becoming Hall of Fame eligible recently in the last few months, I'm anticipating his cards will continue to go up. So these are the main cards that I'm looking for, and if I can't find any of these cards, I am more than happy to come home with a good chunk of my budget and save up for picking up one of these cards. I want to make sure that I take the money that I got from selling those Pete Crow Armstrong cards and put it towards a significant card that I wouldn't normally be able to purchase for, or would take me about a year to save up for. If I don't find one of these, I don't want to leave empty-handed, and so these are 5 other cards that if I can find in a low grade will take a portion of my budget, but I'll be able to come home with a good chunk that I can kind of start saving and adding to pick up one of those previous 5 cards. So these would be the Polo Grounds game, Honus Wagner. I saw one of these at James Elite Hunter, his table last year, and it was like an 8, and it was 10 times what I was willing to pay for it, but it was just such a good grade and such an awesome card. I love the backs of these cards as well because it has a picture of the Polo Grounds there. That's my attempt to get a Wagner Playing Days card. It's one of the more affordable options, if any Wagner could be considered affordable. Next up is the DeLong Lefty Grove. I love this set. I haven't picked up a card from the set yet, and so I would love to add one to my collection. And then the final 3 are the 51 Bowman Ted Williams, the 53 Topps Satchel Paige, and the 59 Bob Gibson. So those are, to me, all phenomenal cards that I would be ecstatic to leave with any of those. So that's kind of my goals, and I wanted to share one other thing as far as my strategy for going into the show, and that's on Wednesday. My plan is just to go into the show and try to see as much as I can possibly see, not buying anything unless one of those first cards, catches my eye, or something else just comes out of left field. But and I just want to see as much of it as I can, and then kind of Wednesday night recuperate, figure out what's my strategy going forward, and see what else I can. There's a great app. The Ludix app has an interactive map which allows you to see dealers and to kind of star or favorite any dealers that have stuff that you like. On the website, it looks like, and maybe you guys can help me out with this, it looks like you should be able to add comments, but I have not been able to get that to work. Last year what I did was I created a PDF of the map that had all the dealers actually named, so it wasn't just the table numbers, but you could see the dealers, and I highlighted, and I put that on my tablet, and took my tablet and kind of wrote notes on my tablet as I went for things, and it worked okay, but I didn't like having the clunky tablet. So what I decided to do this year is I made the map again, and I'll share it here so you can see. And so here is overall the map layout. You probably can't see my mouse on there, but I highlighted in light orange any tables that were listed as having vintage cards, and then in the second darker shade of orange were those tables which were just vintage. They didn't say that they had any modern, and so I know those are kind of the tables that are going to really focus on vintage and not just have a small selection. And then the really dark orange are some of my favorite dealers that I like to go to, like Ash in the bottom right corner, or JD Heckathorn. I know he's always got some great Venezuelan cards, and so I always try to see his table if I go to Strongsville or the National. And so and my plan is to put this on my phone, and I've got this set up now to where I can put it in the Adobe app and have an editable PDF, and I can go through and add comments to the PDF and put down notes like, hey, I saw a green Cobb here and a 1, and that it will hopefully help me track which table I saw which cards at, and I can do it all on my phone so I'm not fumbling through papers and things like that, and I'm hoping to have all of my lists and everything saved. The other benefit to this map for me is that I can save it so it's available offline. I know they invested a ton of money in improving the Wi-Fi. I don't trust it. I don't want to go in leaving anything to chance, that I'm not going to be able to access my lists or things that I might need. And so I'm putting everything on my phone with an external battery, bringing it along. So if any of you are interested in kind of taking this strategy, I'm more than happy to share this with you. I can either share the PDF or I can send you the Excel file that I created this in. And you can highlight and edit things as you like. One of the nice things is that I was able to really put the names of each collector or each table in there. So it's not just a number, but you can actually see that there's Bill Chappell and a few of my favorite things. Batter's box. And then down here you have Craig Halbig, and so a few of the things that I've really like. So this is my plan going in there. If anybody else would find this helpful, I'm more than happy to share it. But that's what I've been strategizing and thinking about doing. So if anybody has been able to get the app to work properly, it runs a little bit smoother than a PDF and probably is better for taking notes, but I would, I have a backup plan, and I know that the interactive map is tied to the internet. So if you don't have good internet access, you're not going to be able to pull up that interactive map. You can test that out by putting your phone in airplane mode and see if you can load it. I haven't been able to, so I'm not counting on that working when I get there, but hopefully it does. So those are my plans for the National. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment if you're going. Let me know what are some cards that you're targeting. And would love to run into you, say hi if you see me. And hopefully for everyone that's going, you have a safe travel and enjoy being in the great city of Chicago. Go Cubs!